So the first company that we're going to talk about is Bobbie. So they are a building materials and construction materials retailer in Germany. And pretty cool feather in their cap, they were actually the first German retailer within their industry to go fully digitized and take that entire buying experience online. They launched their Magenta website in 2018, but they've really been working on refining and optimizing that website so that it can really move the business forward. Now, when they first came to us, they sent us a list of different shipping, kind of scenarios and sort of freight options. And it was so massive that when I tried to open it up, it just literally crashed my computer. When I finally was able to open it, it turned out there were over 250,000 different freight scenarios and different permutations to their shipping, because there's a combination of where they're shipping from, the various products that might, actually be in the cart, and they have hundreds of thousands of different SKUs. There's all these different packing scenarios. It may be going to different places with different regulations or need different carriers. It was just impossibly complicated. And it was impossible for them to really figure everything out and build that great customer experience in the checkout. In fact, unless you had a fairly straightforward order in the cart, then typically the result that customers were seeing more often than not on their website was shipping was so complicated, they just simply would say, submit your order and you'll get a freight quote. That was hugely problematic for their business, because while maybe getting a quote is something that makes sense when you're doing sort of in-person, person-to-person type sales, if you're trying to automate, if you're trying to make this a great e-commerce experience, it's not going to cut it. It either leads to abandoned carts because customers just, they're not going to pay for the actual products just to find out how much shipping costs. So they were getting huge amounts of abandoned carts. Or if they were able to actually capture the sale, then there was just a ton of legwork that they had to do after the fact. They had to, get one of their reps involved, and they would go back and forth about shipping quotes, and then hopefully the sale would actually move forward. So it was just really hurting the growth of their business. And then anytime they injected a new product line, a new category, it just added exponentially more complexity to what they're doing. So they just needed something that could be a better and more scalable foundation for that shipping experience online. And then they met ShipperHQ. We were able to massively consolidate the complexity of their shipping scenarios and their freight tables. And by no means, I mean, it's still pretty complicated, but it's manageably complicated. So they were able to take all these different disparate scenarios and just build it out in a much more scalable way, so that at the end of the day, customers are actually seeing both shipping quotes, which is great, and actually accurate shipping quotes, which is also fantastic for the business. And so it's really helped to optimize overall that experience, and has also tremendously saved time on the back end for the Bobbie team, just to be able to focus on actually growing the business and doing things that are really cash flow positive, as opposed to just simply trying to make sure that orders don't cancel or make sure that they can get the accurate shipping quotes to their customers. It's also made them significantly more nimble. They are able to easily include now new product lines, new shipping scenarios, new markets, new warehouses, whatever they need to. They can easily test this in a safe development environment, make sure it's all working properly, and then push that to their live production website and never miss beat. So it's just been a really great experience, where they've seen a significant drop overall in abandoned carts. They've seen a significant drop in the amount of time that they have to spend after the fact, just negotiating and figuring out shipping costs. And it's allowed them to continue to expand the product catalog that they represent and just really push this business moving forward. So for them, shipping was just a huge barrier for growth, and we were able to alleviate and lift that barrier from the company so that they could grow however it makes sense for their business, as opposed to, kind of being limited by the technology.